Bada bing bada.
Hi.
Welcome to a
So,
special edition
yes,
episode.
this one is for all of the tortured poets out there. That was so
Beautiful.
lame.
No, I liked
So,
it. I
that
liked
was
it a
so
lot.
lame.
This is for all the tortured poets. This is
So,
for
we
you.
are super well rested because nothing exciting has been going on this weekend. So,
Not at all. Haven't had anything to
yeah,
do.
we haven't been up every night all day just listening to the Tortured Poets Department over and over again. We were not up at 2 a.m. to hear the double album drop. We were. All of these things we were, though.
Yeah, we were. And now our brains are fried. And I don't know if we'll ever recover. I keep thinking, oh, I'll just get a good night of sleep.
Yes.
And I'll be back to normal. But how can we be normal after this?
It's really hard. Like, I just can't stop thinking about it. I went to, so this is actually our second time recording this segment because something is going on with the first recording we did, which seems like a software issue. But so here we are again. Yeah, boo. And I went to Symphony of Dance last night with my mom, which is Derek Huff's like dance thing with his wife. And it was a pretty good show. They put on a pretty good show, but I will say I just cannot stop thinking about Taylor Swift right now. Here on April 20th, 2024, which was yesterday when I was at the show. Sorry, yesterday when I was at the show. I couldn't focus on anything but Taylor Swift. So all I could see in the show was like the different color lights and what era they were giving.
Yes. She sent us videos the entire time she was at the show, and it was like watching eras. For sure.
Yes, he even starts his show out with like doing a volume thing with the crowd like Taylor does with her finger. I'm like,
yes.
He's taking some notes out of our girl's book here. But good on him. She's making it work.
At what point is it plagiarism, though?
I wonder.
Eat glass, Derek Huff.
No, I did like him. I did kind of also realize I have a couple things to unpack with my therapist after watching that.
I say fuck it up. Tell the people, but you don't have to.
Okay, I'll go. I'll go. So it was just kind of hard for me. I realized that I really only listen to like women artists anymore. And it's not something I ever like intentionally did. I just noticed last night as I was sitting there watching this man on stage with his arms in the air, just like accepting all this praise from an audience, that I really don't watch men be like the center of attention much anymore. I think I'm kind of over it.
Did it feel like extra performative?
Yeah, and this dude is like a really good guy too. Mm-hmm. Like I have no reason to like not want to see him as the center of
she bought the tickets,
show.
Folks.
Yeah, well, it was for my mom's birthday, so it wasn't like this was.
It wasn't for you, but you.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did buy the tickets, and it's this guy's show. He's supposed to be the center of attention, but like
you're like, I hate this.
It gave me the ick. So I just think that's maybe something to unpack at my next therapy appointment. Why can't I see any male? Like it just felt like it was like ego boosting him up on stage, but it's his show, like it should be. And again, he's a nice guy. Something to unpack.
But men have had their moment, I think, and collectively, I think women are kind of over it. So I'm not.
It wasn't really giving Barbie movie, you know?
Right. I think that we're in a year of the Barbie movie, the Eras Tour, all of these female-led things that are so beautiful.
Honestly, yeah. So that was a bit weird experiencing that, but we did get to see almost all the eras.
I kept thinking she's got to be done with eras. Like there can't possibly be any more eras in this guy's show. And then you would send us another video, and I was like, "This is women can do anything. Women in STEM."
That's right. So we pretty much can't focus on anything but Taylor Swift. So we're just going to give you guys a bonus episode, just talking about the new Taylor Swift album, since it's literally all we can think about.
We did get on a call with our friends who are on the West Coast. So it was midnight for us and 9 for them. And we listened to the album live. So I have never done anything like that before. And I think it just made the experience so much better for all of us because we were just sitting there
Yes.
in all our deliriousness, very late at night and just live reacting to the music together. And it was the ultimate show of girlhood. I can't say that enough. Especially, and we'll get into it once we get to the song, but once Florida came on, we
Woof.
just lost our minds, and in the best way.
And we're all like, we've all lived in Florida at one point too. So it just like really spoke for Florida very well.
There's just a few lyrics in there where we're just like, she wrote this for us.
She did. Definitely did.
Yeah. So, let's get into it. So the first song on the album is obviously Fortnite with Posty. They have incredible chemistry, and they just seem like they have a really lovely friendship. And the video, them together,
it was so good. Oh my
the video is excellent, and can't say enough how much I love Taylor and Posty's relationship, and how many, so much love to Travis, but we have been flip-flopping since the video came out.
Sorry, Trav.
Okay, she should be with Post, and I'm pretty sure. I think Post is married. I'm pretty sure.
I think he just had a baby. I heard from someone. I have no idea how accurate that is.
Yeah, so like
I have not fact checked.
Hi, we're the problem. It's us.
But yeah, like they're so cute in the video. And then Taylor, I feel like she did this on purpose. She put out that YouTube short at the same exact time. So we're shipping Posty and Taylor, and then she puts out the YouTube short, and her and Travis are so adorable. And we never get to see little like organic snippets like that.
We see them in public all the time, but just seeing them in a more like her cooking for him and kissing her on the cheek. And then that video, wherever they're under the lights, that tree, and she's looking at the view, but he's looking at her. I watched a TikTok earlier that was dissecting, because sometimes in the video, Post has his tattoos.
Yes.
And in some scenes, he doesn't. So in the scenes where he doesn't have tattoos, like where they're almost wearing the exact same thing, they're all in black and they're kind of looking at each other, that part of the...
I think that's when it's in her head at that point.
Yes, but the TikTok was saying when he doesn't have tattoos, it's Joe. And when there's tattoos, it's Maddie. And so it's also going into, because she says this song covers a lot of things that they go over in the album. And so we're starting to know that the timeline of things is that things are going badly with Joe, and she's starting to think about calling Maddie. And obviously we know that based on some of the lyrics on the album. And then at the end of the video, when she's on top of the phone booth, it represents her calling. Obviously she called Maddie.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know if that's accurate.
I like that theory.
But I thought it was a really interesting theory. And this whole time I was thinking the whole song and whole video was about Maddie. I didn't even really think about Joe in it as much.
I've kind of been coming to this conclusion with a couple of the songs that I was at the beginning trying to pick, is it Maddie or Joe that it's about, or maybe Travis? But I'm starting to come to the conclusion that maybe some of these songs are about both Maddie and Joe.
Yes.
In the same song. So
I agree. I agree. I was also in the same mindset. And then if you read through the description of the album on like Apple Music or Spotify, it starts with in the 18 months after Taylor Swift released Midnight. So I'm like, that whole period of time, it's not like it was all about Joe or all about Maddie for her. It was about both of them. So it makes sense that the songs aren't necessarily always solely about one or the other.
And there's like even though they're two very different like breakups, it seems like there's definitely overarching like themes between the two as well. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The psych ward. Okay, I had this epiphany last night, and no one has responded to me on it. So
Tell me about
I
it.
maybe I'm late to the game, or it just isn't that remarkable at all. But I had this epiphany. So there's so many like hospital references, and then like there's that video that we got where they leave the Midnight's room, they go into that psych ward hallway and then turn and go into the tortured poets department room, and it's just like a very clinical feel. All the jokes about like all the like merch and what it was going to look like the street jackets and
Yes.
stuff like that. Like there's just and the Clara Bow, not Clara Bow, I mean in Fortnite, like she starts in the psych ward and it's, you know, kind of trippy, and the person's walking in on the ceiling. So my theory is and fresh out of the slammer, she's, sorry, kind of jumping ahead here,
It's okay.
but it's all intertwined. I sound like a lunatic.
We all do.
In
Welcome to the
fresh out
club,
of
or the department, as I should say.
oh my gosh, so good. So fresh out of the slammer is about her calling Maddie like after breaking up with Joe, and like
Mhm.
she's referencing her relationship being the slammer with Joe, or being locked up, some kind of something to
Yes.
be put away.
Yeah.
And then in the alchemy, she says, just got out of the hospital, that was such a drag, something like that in the beginning. And I'm thinking that she is seeing her time with Joe as her being in the psych ward because he made her feel crazy.
I 100% agree with that. And at the beginning of Fortnite, she's kind of like being held down in the psych ward.
Yeah,
And
yes.
I think that is being held down by Joe
And
and
then the
being
handcuff comes off and she's free. And oh my gosh.
when she's there's that scene where the dead poets are experimenting on her, and Post is one of the people experimenting,
Yeah.
I guess, but he winds up like pulling the plug. That's Maddie. He's Maddie there,
Oh,
freeing her from her time
yeah. Okay.
in the psych ward.
So
So
is everyone already at that conclusion with the psych ward thing?
I think so. I do think
Oh.
I think that is the general consensus. I'm pretty sure. We are out of touch. Still this may be a bonus episode, folks, but it's on brand, okay?
It is always on brand over here.
The fact that it's recorded us for a second time because we couldn't get it together the first time, I was not surprised by that. I was not aggravated by that. It was just like, okay, Tori, let's re-record.
That's on par. Yep.
It makes sense.
Oh my gosh, so funny. Okay, well that's why no one's commenting on my TikTok. Okay, we're all there.
We've moved.
Okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people pulled that same comparison from seeing the music video. I think the visuals, I think the words were already there in the album. Like if you really pay attention, I think you can dissect that that's what she's saying. But seeing it on the video, I think was just more like, oh, okay.
Oh, and then on that same thread, just call back to the gaslighter wine. Call back to the gaslighter wine in the picture.
Oh, yes. I'm
Because
like,
she felt crazy when she was with Joe, and
yes.
she wrote that picture is when she wrote "You're losing me." Sorry, it's just all connecting.
It's all connecting, and some of the dots were not exactly communicating because we're just like, you have that thread in your brain too, right? Those connections.
Yeah,
It's like Spider-Man in our heads right now, just like
it really is
thing to another.
And like in this state of delirium of like total lack of sleep for 4 days straight, and
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the torture poets department.
Yeah, we said already this one kind of hasn't left a huge impression for either of us yet. My biggest
It's a Joe song.
It's a Joe song. It says something about Charlie Puth. I don't think half the world knew who that was. So like, good for you, Taylor, boosting this man's career. I guess.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. I googled him. My boy only breaks his favorite toys. Big fan of this one. I like the lyrics in it a lot. Is this one a Maddie one? I forget. Oh, I feel
like I haven't dissected this one good enough.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, me too.
I'm trying to play the song on my phone just so I can get the lyrics without actually having the audio come on.
'Cause my boy only breaks his favorite toys.
Oh, yes.
We will be deleting that, by the way.
Why? That didn't sound bad. Toys. That can go. I mean, this one makes sense that it's about Joe. I think we all knew it was going to be about Joe just because, what's that line? Bad, bad boy, shiny toy. You know what I'm talking about. It is Cruel Summer. Delirium. But
I don't
yeah,
like
so
that
I think
song.
of that line in Cruel Summer and draw that parallel. That's why I immediately was like, it has to be about him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Down Bad just it had the same effect on me.
Yeah.
As the title.
And Down Bad we know is about Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
And we love Jack Antonoff for giving us context to that photo of Taylor in the studio where she's kind of pouty. And it's like, she looks like she's down bad. Yeah, it makes sense. And thank you to Jack Antonoff. If we're going to thank him for anything, it's for this little photo thing that he's been doing ever since the internet collectively was like, when was your losing me written?
Yes.
And he answered us and said, hold my beer. Here you go. This is the exact date, and that's the photo with the gaslighter wine that Tori's referring to. So we know our girl was feeling gaslit.
Down bad. Yeah, oof. So Long London. Oh, that is a track 5.
It is a track 5, and I welcome it to destroy me emotionally as soon as I hear it come on.
It's got that like heavenly, like kind of spooky beginning. Oh,
yes, it's I don't even have the correct words to accurately describe how the eeriness makes you feel of this song. I just think it's so well written. So we're on But Daddy, I Love Him. I do really love how she breaks the fourth wall here and is talking to us.
Yeah.
You should see your faces. I was really confused during the first listen of this.
I was as well. All 3 of us. Show was the only one who picked up on it. I think we're all like, "Oh, what a bop!" Like, just like jam it along. And I did think that line was wild, but I just didn't really put it in perspective of like what it actually meant. I don't think. I was thinking of, because we had So Long London. I was onto the Joe phase now. I was thinking about Joe.
I thought this song was going to be about Joe, but now it does make more sense that it's about Maddie.
Yes.
Like, because can you imagine being Taylor's parents and being like, you're with who?
Right.
Like, that's probably the absolute
But
last
did you hear what he said?
Yeah. Have you seen and smelled him, Taylor? No, you've smelled him. We all have. We can smell him through the screen. Like, we don't even need to be there. Genuinely, like a wet cigarette is what I picture.
Yeah, that's accurate. Completely accurate.
God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me, sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see.
Yeah.
I am unwell.
That one had me. You can see in the recording of us, my jaws just like dropped.
Yes.
At that one. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but there is just something about a man telling me he wants what's best for me that it's like, no, you want the opposite.
Right. Instantly. Instantly.
Yeah, I automatically don't buy it.
Thinking it can change the beat of my heart when he touches me and counteract the chemistry. Oh my God. It's so poetic.
Yeah, and
to state the obvious.
It really is. And you just, it's so intense because you know the beginning part of any relationship is generally the most intense anyway. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny that this is how long did they date? Like 6 weeks this time or something?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
So it's
I blocked it out.
It's just so humorous because it's like she's just so erratic because it's like,
yes, that's a good point. Like manic.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's that newness. It's that early part of the relationship where you're
Mhm.
still trying to figure them out, and it's like, I never know what your intentions are, and I and I've just been in, like, a 6-year-long relationship where I felt like a jailer,
Mhm.
so that doesn't
Fresh Out the Slammer, I like it. It's not top of my list. So you were thinking that this is of her calling Maddie Healy after being done with Joe?
Yes.
Okay. I like that take.
Yeah, that's my thoughts there.
And then Florida.
Okay, I think this kinda goes without saying, it's my favorite song on the entire album.
Hands down. And
Hands down, the chills in my body while this song plays are crazy. Oh, we were absolutely talking smack about the features on Taylor's albums and how we're always left wanting more. And then we got to Florence and Florida, and we were just like, okay, well, we can't complain. She sang half the song. My favorite is when they're both going back and forth singing the
yes,
line.
I love that.
That's the best part. Like, fuck me up, Florida. When just hearing that for the first time was just so
Yep, Florida.
epic. It was
All of
so.
us on the call together too. It was just like
We all had
amazing.
shocked faces, but then there were also like some secondary emotions. Like Sam is just sobbing. One of us has the chills. Like somebody's like just full dancing. It was great. There's a full range of emotions. If you want to see us live react, check out our TikTok because Tori posted some great videos from that. I'm so glad we recorded it, and you can just see us in all of our glory. Yeah.
Some more to come too.
Yeah.
Talk so much about like getting arrested, partying, doing drug. Like
all my friends
that is
smell
Florida.
like weed and babies.
That is Florida. Like trust me, I grew up here. I know. This is it. She's not lying.
It's lawless here. It's pretty crazy. If you haven't been to Florida, come on down.
She said something about like the hometown. Your hometown is just the place where you'll get arrested. Taylor, why?
It's like, how did she know our lives so well?
Right? Is this about me?
Is this fucking play about us? And the city reeks of driving myself crazy. Your home's really only a town you're just a guest in. I like that. I like that she changes that too. Like a town where you get arrested.
Yeah.
Where you're just a guest in.
Fuck me up, Florida, too.
Fuck me up, Florida.
Fuck me up, Florida?
Well, it was just like that song really builds.
Yes.
And when it gets to that part, you're just like, oh my God. We all reacted to that immediately when she said, fuck me up, Florida. We're just like, fuck me up. Like, for real.
And that's why so many people come here too. I feel just to like party and get fucked up. And
yeah, I don't know where this content came from because there's too much content in my brain, but I think it was a TikTok that I watched that she was talking about her and Florence writing the song, and they were saying like that's where all like drug dealers and people go like when they want to get away.
Oh, I sent that. Yeah. When people are trying to get away, they come here. Yeah.
And just like there's clever little things, like there's a lyric that Florence says, the hurricane with my name, when it came, I got drunk and dared it to wash me away. Like the hurricane, obviously we know something about
a thing or two about hurricanes.
Here in Florida. Like we've experienced one or two.
Here or there, yeah.
And I did my best to lay to rest all of the bodies that have ever been on my body. And in my mind, they sink into a swamp. Is that a bad thing to say in a song? Like she breaks the fourth wall many times on this album. Yes. I feel like that's another one.
And then right above that too, no one asked questions here. Like, It's true, Taylor.
It's true what you say. Yeah, Just epic, epic, epic song.
Hands down favorite song. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Florence, for Florida. It is a masterpiece that I don't think I'll ever be able. I'll never be over it. Never.
Fuck me up, Florida.
Fuck me up.
The next one I have strong feelings about is Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. So good.
Who's Afraid of Little Old Me is insanely good.
Such a banger. Oh my gosh.
Think most women in the world probably are screaming that right now. It would have been perfect on any of the Hunger Games movies, especially the last one. You know?
Mm-hmm. Like the newest one?
No.
The last one.
The last Mockingjay.
Yeah.
Just that's Katniss's song. I don't know.
Yeah. And the way the lyric is screamed, it feels good. It's very empowering. It makes me feel more alive, so I leap the gallows and I levitate down your street. Crash the party like a record scratch as I scream. Who's afraid of little old me? You should be.
You should be. You definitely should be.
It's the you should be for me.
Yes, I agree. I loved The Alchemy and The Black Dog. And I'm going to get you back.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart was a really good one too.
Mm-hmm.
That one was a bop. I'm so depressed it feels like it's my birthday.
I know. It's so good.
Oh my god. The smallest man who ever lived. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. That's what it is. Not only are you the smallest man, but literally you didn't even measure up to be any kind of man at all. Mm-mm. Oh my god.
No.
So The Alchemy, Travis. This is about Travis, right?
I think so. Yeah. Like,
I think it has to be, yeah.
Touchdown, call the amateurs and cut them from the team.
Yes. And he jokes like it's heroin, but this time with an E. Mm-hmm. I just love that line. That she's his heroine.
It's so cute.
Oh, here it is.
Shirts off and your friends lift you up over their heads.
Yeah.
You're sticking to the floor.
Cheers. Chanted because they said there was no chance trying to be the greatest in the league.
Where's the trophy? He just comes running over to me.
That's Travis. Travis, it's nice to see you here. I didn't expect that.
Was not expecting any of the songs to be about Travis on this album.
Not at
all. Like, the Maddie Healy thing was, like, not we didn't want that, but, like, that wasn't a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But Travis being on here definitely was.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the Black Dog, that was just the reference to, like, leaving. It's so specific. Mm-hmm. This is, and I've had that happen to me, too, where you still have the location, and it's like, well, I don't want to look at it, but it is on my phone, so turn it off, but I can't.
Yeah, you need to do that.
So the last half, I haven't like had a lot of time to re-listen to these yet. This is the second album. I will say ones that stick out to me. So High School was like super nostalgic. For the millennials, love that. What we had like references to that band that everyone else knows that I don't know.
The Starting Line.
That's it. And turns out it's like one of Maddie Healy's favorite bands, and then their band like covered a song from that band. So that's interesting. Here's the Marry, Kiss, or Kill line is in this. So I think people are saying it is about Travis.
Oh yeah.
And then Thank You, Amy.
Good for you, Taylor.
I love this one.
I'm gonna change any defining features or characteristics or whatever, except for spelling your name in the song title. Just so good. And honestly, I'll let you explain your take on Cassandra, whatever. But I'm so glad that she said something. Like, good for you, girl.
Yes, yeah. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And you ended up like motivating me to have a better career. So like,
yeah, without you, would I have gotten to all of this? So like, we love to see it. Like, it's very enlightened, but also it's a level of deserved petty, because that one line in Cassandra where she's saying like how quiet it was when the truth came out, And
Yes.
everybody in the world knows that it's an edited phone call. So she deserves every bit of this, because I've seen so many things like rolling their eyes at her being petty, and it's like, no, this is what they deserve.
Yeah. And like, I don't know, it's kind of her shtick too. She writes something in her life happened, she writes a song about it. Like,
well, Kanye has been in the wrong from the beginning. Like, it's just insane
in
that
so many ways.
The story got warped in so many different places because of Kim Kardashian and because Kanye's an asshat. And I think as a recovering people pleaser, that was one of my favorite tracks. Not because I'm not probably going to be bopping "Thank You, Amy" over and over again. Just knowing it's there and it existed, and it's the fuck you that Kim deserves, is hilarious. Yeah. Do you remember what's the song title? "If You Seek Amy"?
No, that is a song title though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is a song out there called "If You Seek Amy," which, like, isn't that like just a way of saying F you? If you seek Amy?
That's what it is. Yes, I forgot.
So it's like, this song is called "Thank You, Amy," but also that's what it makes me think of.
That's hilarious. I didn't think about that. Yeah. And then this line about like your kid is gonna sing the songs that only me and her know are about you.
And I just want to know if there's been a point yet where North has been like mad at Kim this weekend and just been like, okay, thank you, Amy. You know? Like,
oh my God. I
North
love
is
that.
out there on the internet. There's no way. Some of these theories have to have gone back to her.
100%. Yeah.
You know? Like, she seems like a smart kid.
Yeah, I know. I wonder what, to be a fly on the wall in the Kardashians' home this week.
Yeah, like, Chris, what is Chris? Chris is like, we've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is you're relevant again.
Oh yeah, and then Cassandra. So like my take on it, so Amber and I were kind of listening to these yesterday, trying to figure out. Our first thought was like maybe Cassandra, Peter, and Robin are somehow the new Betty, James, and August. But we couldn't. I will say we haven't. I haven't been able to listen again since then. My brain wasn't really in on mode when we listened to those yesterday, so I'm still trying to figure out what the hell Robin is even about. And then Peter, there is that interesting take. Someone sent us a TikTok that like Peter could be the Peter and Wendy from what is that, Cardigan, or is that the one Cardigan?
Yes. I have to like sing it to be sure.
But Cassandra, so we listened to it a couple times, and I don't know that when we listened to it yesterday, it was really giving me like she's talking about the Kanye situation, and then I thought I was crazy when I said that, but after that we saw a TikTok saying the same thing. So
yes,
I wonder if we're onto something.
I think that is 100% what this song is about. It's about Kim and Kanye.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, because that's where I was when I got the call when the first stone's thrown. They're screaming, like everybody was freaking out about it.
And then when the truth comes out, they're so quiet.
Quiet. So Taylor is Cassandra.
In my tower weaving nightmare, she was writing Reputation.
Yeah, they filled my cell with snakes. Do you believe me now? I was on to something. They all said nothing. Like, this is where I feel like she's starting to talk about like Kim, because now obviously Kim and Kanye are divorced. Like,
yeah.
I really liked this one though. The way it felt was very much like folklore.
Yes, like the whimsical,
the witchy type element of it. Yeah.
And that's your favorite, right? Folklore. It's my favorite too.
Folklore and Evermore, I guess. Before this, anyway. Now it's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I feel like, this far, Evermore and Folklore are my favorite.
What do you think she's gonna do with the Eras tour now?
You know, I think that will be super interesting. So I was thinking, like, how crazy would it be if she brought Florence on the Eras tour, and then they sing Florida together?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I feel like Florence is like too big of a band
She's
though
too
to
big.
open. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe she would do a few shows. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like she
that's
would
it.
open and then sing that with Taylor. I don't know. I think that would be awesome.
That would be amazing. And then I wondered too, so right now, during the Midnight's era, at the end of Karma, during the Eras Tour during the Eras Tour, you see the door dropping down in the back of the set. I wonder if she walks through that door and then like comes out and is in a new era, and we get 11 eras on the tour.
I feel like she has to include this in the
some
tour.
Way. And so, more than just the surprise songs.
Yeah, and so I wonder if maybe she'll just make some of the other eras shorter. Maybe she'll cut a couple of songs from other eras to make those shorter and make room for this one.
Yeah. Was it you or it may have been Sam who said that maybe she takes out 2 eras and then puts in Debut and then Tortured Poets Department, and I think that's interesting. And then it also raises the question of, will the Eras Tour ever end? Like, if she's just like replacing and moving things around, like she could literally do the Eras Tour forever.
Well, and I feel like no one would stop going, you know?
But I wouldn't. And if she's like doing it different every time she comes, no. Is this like the Grateful Dead of like pop music that we're about to see? Like...
I think so. I think it'll be really interesting. Do you know when she resumes touring?
Oh yeah, May 9th, Paris. So they have time to. And if she's doing it, she's already figured it out, I'm sure. Oh yeah, there was with the door too in the background. So when she put out that video of like the ticking clock, and you're in the Midnight's room, and then you go out into the psych ward hallway and then down into the Tortured Poets Department, and mentioned that like, oh, now we know where the door in the Karma music goes. It goes to this like hallway or into a new era. I wonder if that's true. Sam brought up a good point that like maybe not, because it's not the same door design.
True.
Which, if it was the same door, you'd think they would be intentional to do the same design of doors.
Right.
I thought that was an interesting point.
I think there's still more for us to figure out.
I think we're going to get something in a fortnight, right? From the day the album dropped. I'm just assuming. I'm assuming we're all assuming that.
Yeah. I'm just constantly waiting for more.
Yeah. Oh, well, she's done this to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, what was the day that you were saying you were really pulling for Reputation? The date?
Well, I was thinking it would be somehow correlated to Tortured Poets Department because the black nail. But I was saying, I think that she'll own all her work by November 9th, I think it was, or November 11th, maybe 11, 11, 11, 12. It was one of those. It's in the history of the podcast. I just can't remember. Yeah, I just can't remember what the date was. But yeah, but I don't know. Now that she, in the little installation she had at the Grove in LA, she had a little thing with a date that said Friday, December 13th. So something's happening this year.
Wouldn't it only make sense for that to be Debut?
It has to be, right?
Like, so Reputation has to be before that.
Yes, it must be. I did think you had an interesting point too about how many
titles.
Yeah.
So when we were listening yesterday, we were just kind of going through a few random ones that we wanted. It was when we were doing Cassandra, Peter, and Robin. I noticed that there's a lot of short titles that start with the. So the Manuscript, the Bolter, the Prophecy, the Albatross, the Alchemy. Like, what is the significance of those songs, if anything? Is there something that ties them together? Is there a reason they're all 2-word titles?
I will say it stands out. Now that you pointed it out, it does stand out.
Yeah. So what's the reason for it? Like, is this, at first I was like, maybe this is where she breaks up the 5 stages of grief. Like maybe each of these is a way of breaking it up, but I don't think that necessarily makes sense for where the songs are at in order. So I don't think it's that.
It's something to keep in mind, I think.
Yes. So I think there's something connecting them. I'm just not sure what it is.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Because, like, why the on some things and then not other things?
Yeah, and maybe it's just
Because
the
of the type of word, too. Because, like, you wouldn't
yeah
say, like, the Robin when it's a
manuscript, or I
person.
guess you could. Never mind.
Like, Robin is supposed to be a person, so you wouldn't say, like, the Robin. I'm
Or
trying to
the
look
Peter, or
through.
the yeah. And then
Yeah,
there's also like a few other ones like the black dog. I didn't mention that one, but there's also the
mhm.
smallest man who ever lived. Like there's a lot of songs that start with the, and I know obviously the album starts with the word the. So like, are these ones connected for a reason? And now and then she rereads the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. Because
Oh,
I think
yeah,
she's
that's that
so
line.
focused on her future that she's like, here it is. You can have it because this isn't mine anymore.
Mhm. And, like, really her fans are kind of, like, leading, like, guiding her life a lot right now. You know, like, a lot of the things she does is tied up in, like, making the Swifties happy, I feel
Yeah.
like. So,
Yeah, for sure.
and we're kind of, like, shaping, you know, her life wouldn't take the same turns and stuff if it wasn't for this, like, fandom and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So I think she kind of means that as well. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Let us know what you thought about the album.
Mhm.
We loved it. We're still in the
Processing.
throes of processing,
Yeah.
and we might all be in a psych ward after this, and that would be
I
fair.
Yeah, I will say there's much sobbing on our first listen through.
Yeah.
Such a good album.
Especially So Long London. That got every
Mhm.
single one of us.
Please reach out and talk to us about this because we are just, it's the only thing happening in our mind. Like,
For the last, I would say since probably Wednesday, this is
mhm.
really the main thing that's been on my mind.
Yeah. I have to say that I got to listen to this more last night as we were driving, and I think top favorites are definitely Florida, and then Who's Afraid of Little Ol' Me.
I think my top 3 are in order are Florida, Cassandra, and then Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Yes, so also Fortnite. I don't know.
Okay.
I like the way that one feels, and I
Mhm.
thought it was a good opener.
Let's see, my top 3, I don't think I've said mine yet, right?
Yeah, you.
Okay, Florida, hands down, that's the first one. Who's Afraid of Little Ol' Me? Just gotta scream it out. Let me see. Oh, there's so many good ones for the third spot. I'd have to say, I think The Smallest Man Who Ever Lives.
Oof, that one's good
It's
too.
it's between that and I Can Do It With a Broken Heart.
I also notable mentions the Black Dog, I'm Gonna Get You
Mhm.
Back. Yeah, both of those I really like as well. And Clarabelle.
Clarabelle is really good too.
I love that
They're
line
all so
where
good.
it's like, you look like Taylor Swift
Taylor Swift.
at the end.
I
Like,
knew it.
it's
Yeah.
got like Clarabelle and then Stevie Nicks and then Taylor
Yes.
Swift. And just like, it
Oh,
feels very, I don't know, I want to say fearless,
oh, yes.
but
I like The Prophecy a lot too.
yes, yes.
That's a good one. It was just a great double drop. I have to say my favorite lyric. Sorry, I just can't let go of Florida. This is probably my favorite lyric, maybe out of the whole album, but no one asked any questions here, so I did my best to lay to rest all of the bodies that ever been on my body, and in my mind they sink into the swamp. Is that a bad thing to say in a
Is that a
song?
bad thing to say in a song? It's so good.
So good. Oh my god. And it's
It's
just
me.
so Florida. I
It
love
is.
it.
It's epic. It gives no body, no crime vibes. It's that dark, um, it
Does have a
reminds me of
dark
the
feel.
Dixie Chicks and Goodbye Earl, like just that sort of vibe.
There are all the Texas mentions. I feel like it wasn't just this song that we heard Texas in. She says the shitstorm back in Texas. Who who is in Texas? What are we talking
Who's in
about?
Texas?
Yeah, something's going on in Texas. She also mentions Florida and Fortnite too,
Mm-hmm.
which is just like an interesting little tidbit to just kind of keeping that in the back of my mind. There's so many mentions to Texas and Florida in this album. I just saw a lyric from Florida saying back in Texas. And
Mhm.
someone sent us a theory too that I thought was interesting. Dang, I don't know the TikTok creator's name anymore. But it was saying that in Texas was like where her and Joe split. And then it was a fortnight until she had the show in Florida. And maybe those are like all the references between
Interesting.
Texas and Florida. And then also, so the Stevie Nicks poem that I was asking you if it's in your album or not, but that was a poem Stevie Nicks wrote Taylor Swift, I think, at one of the Texas shows, I'm assuming, but it was in Austin, Texas. It said at the top.
Oh.
So I wonder too if like
I was trying
that's
to
kind of
read it, but I couldn't make out all the words in the
it was
screenshot.
so
I was
difficult.
like, uh.
Yeah, I actually had to skip an entire line because I couldn't read it. But yeah, so I don't know. That's just another like reference to Texas. So
Yeah,
something's going on with the Texas Florida thing.
they're just lawless states. It's
Yeah.
crazy in both, to be honest with
Yeah.
you, but yeah.
Honestly. Well, I think I'm out tailored. I shouldn't say that I'm not. But
I'm not. She could drop Reputation right now, and I'd be like, let's go.
like
So.
shows came out this week and I did watch Vanderpump and Summer
I
House,
did
but
as well,
that's
but I
it.
couldn't even put my thoughts like, I tried writing some of my thoughts in our note, and I was just like, I can't process this. Like, I can't talk about what I think about this episode because I'm still thinking about
I
the
need to
torture
listen to
poets.
Florida. Yeah.
I need to go back and I've forgotten the words to Florida. I have to listen to it again. I'm about to
Mhm.
go blare it. One thing I do want to say before we jump off, I got a notification yesterday that my album will be here tomorrow. Because Tori is the sweetest friend in the world and bought me the album as my birthday gift this year. And I was like, oh my God, I forgot. Like, I totally forgot.
Yay.
So I cannot wait to put it on my record player and
Yes.
blare
Heck yeah.
Florida.
I was upset because like when I bought that, she reopened all versions of the album like an hour after I purchased
Of course.
that, so I could have had like more options. But the Phantom one's cool. It's
Yeah.
clear, so
It is the clear one.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it should be. Yeah.
I don't know the difference in like all of them anyway, so it
Mm-hmm.
literally doesn't even matter. They're all it's all the same to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just so
Yay!
excited.
I know. I just got that notification too because I also have one coming. I don't want to say how many of those albums I have coming, so we'll just leave it at that.
We have got to work on your Taylor Swift album wall.
Yes, we might
I
need
would
to.
love to help with that project.
We might need a wall per album at this point.
Anybody is a muralist and wants to mural up Tori's house with some Taylor Swift murals, hit us up.
The closet is open to murals. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be so epic.
Yeah, it's better than sheets in my background.
Oh, it's fine. It's great.
This is fine.
Okay. Boom.
Bye.